Yeah, so today I'm going to be showing you how I made this Lacey satellite fascinator. I'm so in love with this fabric. It is gorgeous. If you like the fabric, do let me know in the comment section below that you feel the same. But before we get into that,
I would like to say a big thank you to all our subscribers, and for those just joining us, you are most welcome to the dventcraft channel. We hope to say thank you in our next video because we are sure you would click that subscribe button. And everyone, please do ensure you like, comment and share this video.
you'll be needing your razor blade. You'll be needing your matching thread with your needle, and you might want to also get your fishing line. Then you'll be needing your plastic hot wire. You would also be needing the pieces of material. Now this is the pieces of material that was left off from the client. They sewed, I think, a gown. Yes, it was a gown that was sewn, and this was what was left to make something matching. And this is the previous hat that I made. I don't know if you remember it, but I'll put it in the video below if you want to know how to make it. So this is how it comes, and I've pulled it out, so we're going to be making use of it. Then I have bridal satin, different pieces that I have left from works that I've done before, and that's our tubular crinoline. Now if you're crinoline masters class, you already know what that's all about, the names of various crinoline. I showed you the fishing line not long ago. Now of course you need your measurement tape, and we're going to be making use of uhu gum and scissors. 1.5mm gauge hat wire, your elastic band, your bias, and also your 1.2mm gauge hat wire, then a famous hat wire cutter I love. Let us begin. The first thing I did was to reduce the size of the fascinator base. It's too big and I want to use it for the satellite fascinator, so I decided to cut it a bit short in righteousness. Okay, so to cut it, what you just need to do is get to the part you want to cut it from and take your razor and try and cut the thread inside. Once you've gotten it, the next thing you do is just put your hand inside and start pulling it apart. So I pulled it apart, and once you get round, you will know when to stop. I'm going to take my scissors and then I'll chop it off there. Also, there's this thread that is around that you want to take off, so I pulled it out. After I pulled it out, the remaining one, you just leave a little part that you're going to sew, just to ensure that it doesn't start losing from that place. And once I chop it off there, the part that is left, you're going to need to use your needle and thread and sew it up. I made use of the fishing line here, though it didn't matter because I'm going to be covering up. But let's assume that you're going to be leaving it like this, as in you're making use of straw hats, ready-made straw hats, to make what you want to make, and you're not going to be covering it up. You want to make use of fishing line. Yep. Now, if you check this fascinator base that we have just created, it is very flexible, and if you're going to use it to make your satellite fascinator, it will just not come out well because it will just be bending anyhow. So you want to sew your bronze hat wire, the 1.2mm gauge hat wire, to the fascinator. Now, if you do not know why we use various type of hat wire for various things, you need to join us in our free hat wire class. So all you need to do is go down below this video. You see the description part where you see more. Just click on it and it will show you descriptions, various things inside. One of the things you will see is the dventcraft Academy reception. Click on the link and say, please can I get hat wire class for free. It's free anyway, so however you ask for it, you get it for free. Okay, so this is how you sew it to the fascinator base we have just formed. Keep watching and learning. So we're going to be doing it all the way around. Okay, so now I am through with sewing it all around. Forget about the different threads. I use different thread because actually I'm going to be covering it with material, so it's not going to be visible at all. So I've cut them out already to size. I'm sure you know how to do that. If you don't, do let me know. Now why I'm not using the lace direct is because you can see it gives different shade when you use just the lace and when you put the bridal satin, but it's finer with bridal satin. It makes it look pinky, not blacky pinky. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your uhu gum and you put it all around the tip of the fascinator base. And once I was done with that, the next thing you need to do, or I did, is to cover it up with the bridal satin first of all. Now remember what we do. If you are not new to this channel, you know that we first of all go north, south, east and west, and the reason why we do that is so that our finishing will come out smooth. So I'm going to do that. Then after that we start taking in between the south and the west and the east and the north and all that. And we have a smooth finish like you can see right now. Razor blade and cut the excess out. After that is done, then you take your lace material and you go through the same process again. Now initially I was just putting it on the top part because I was not so sure the lace material would flap down. I guess I didn't measure it so well like that, but it did flap down, thank God. So which is best? It's best for the last layer to cover up the first layer perfectly well. So I now put it on the downside and I covered it up with the same method of north, south, east and west, and then in between. So keep watching and learning. Okay, so I have actually joined my hat wire here. Now this is your 1.5 millimeter gauge hat wire, and I have measured out 42.5 inches and joined it, as you can see, with thread. Now I will drop a video also in case you do not know how to how to join your hat wire together. There's a video that I have and I will drop it in the link below, or if I can put a card so you see something come up at on the video, then I would do that. But if you don't see that, please do check the description of this video. You will get to see it there. The next step is to use your uhu gum, and you're going to be placing it on top of the hat wire all the way round. Now this is different from the regular satellite fascinator that you're used to seeing me do, but I've done this one before, which you would cover it up completely double. Now this one you're going to be making use of one layer. So after I've put on the top, I'm going to be placing the lace material on top like so. Now I would be dropping the links of all the items that we used in making this Mako Fascinator in the description of this video. So if you can't get it in your local store, you would have Amazon links, AliExpress links. Also, YouTube has given us a choice to be tagging the items on the video. I would also search for that and see how I can tag to make it easy for you to get all the products if you cannot find it in your local store. Now I'm going to leave like 1 inch away from the hat wire, and I'm going to cut it all the way around like so. Keep watching and learning. Now once I've done that, I'm going to be flipping that extra to cover it complete, but before then I would put my uhu gum all the way around on top again and then flip to cover. Now, you know me, I noticed this lovely, gorgeous pattern on the lace, and I was like, if I put it on top of that flat part where I covered the hat wire, it will give it a lovely pattern. So that's what I did. I cut this off and just made the material like 2 inches or so, and I cut out a piece of it, and you're gonna see what I'm gonna do with it. Okay, so here it is. Putting uhu gum on that piece that I cut out, and I'm going to be putting it all the way around. Now, if you did not do that, ensure you cover your hat wire first of all with bias. The reason being, sometimes the hat wire we have here is not galvanized, and so it will rust. And so if you don't have double layers on your fascinator, the next thing you see is that your fascinator is rusting. So that's why you would rather, prevent that by covering it first of all with a layer before you do this. Okay, then either way, there are other ways you can do this. If you're making your satellite fascinator this way, you can cover with hat wire first of all, or after you finish doing this, you get bias and you cover up the edges or trimming, anything you can use. But since the lace was going to form a lovely pattern, I did that like so. So we're going to be doing it all the way around. So once that was done, the next thing I did was to take my bias, and the edges at the back, I covered them all up. So you can either make it, when you're cutting your material, you cut it directly to the size of the hat wire. If you correct it directly to the size of the hat wire, it means that you cover, your bias is going to be folded into two to cover the hat wire with the material like so. Do you understand? Or you take anything to cover it just the way I put that other material on top, it will be a bias that you're using, but I flipped it all over so that I can now do like this and give it a new kind of design. So do let me know how you do yours. Do you cover it like this, or you cover it at the edges? Which have you done so far? Yeah, all the sides. Let me know in the comment section below. So we're going to be doing it all the way around. Okay, so the fascinator base, the material we used to cover has dried, so it's time to cut out the excess pieces underneath. And once we're done, we're going to place it on our hat wire that we have covered. Okay. So I'm placing it right now on the hat wire that we have covered like so. I want it to be in the middle. You can put it at the side or wherever you want. So, but I want mine in the middle. So once I put, I'm going to take another needle to hold it on the opposite direction so it doesn't start shifting. Then this is the way I sew it. Keep watching and learning. Once you're done with that, the next thing you do is to take your razor blade and you're going to be cutting it close to where you did your sewing, like so. So we're going to be doing it all the way around. Once you're done, the next thing you're going to do is to attach your elastic band. Now the elastic band that I use for both adults and female is 13 inches in size, but that's when the elastic band is really elastic band. You know, these days sometimes you get elastic band that is elastic, it doesn't have the C at the end. Okay, so this is the way you sew it. So I'm going to be showing you one part, and of course I'm sure you'll be able to do the other side. Once you're done with that, the next thing you want to do is take your bias and you're going to be covering all the way inside. Now, some people do use Petersham, but I'm sure if you've known me, you already know that bias works very well for me, so I use bias. And I'm going to be covering all the way inside. The part of the lace that drops down beneath kind of gave it a pattern, so I left that the way it is. Now the next thing I did was to make tubular loops. Now if you want to know how to do that, I already have a video where I did that. So at the end of this video, I'm going to reference it. You would see it pop up. So all you need to do is click on it so that you get to know how that can be done. And this measurement that I used to make this is 1.5 yards. So just take a look at that video and you'll be able to make your own loops. If you do not know, please look at that video. You really do need to look at it, and it would also give you some insight into other things. Then, so I took the loop and I attached it at the back side of the satellite fascinator. Then I took feathers and began to make like a spiral, or what would we call it, round. I started placing it round with my uhu gum all the way like so. Keep watching and learning. And when I was done, I was wondering, oh, what do I put in the middle? And I saw this beautiful sunflower that I have. I do have a large collection of flowers, really. In fact, I'm wondering how I'm going to be doing all this. But I do enjoy them, but sometimes it seems to occupy space. Anyway, so I saw those lovely sunflowers, and I was like, woo, they will go very well with this, with the satellite fascinator. And so I cut off first of all the back, you know, the stem, sort of the root, or what would you call it, the green part at the back, and I used glue to put both inside and around the inside so that it doesn't pop out from the flowers, the petals don't start coming off. Then I put around the end, I put 2 on it, and that's how I made this gorgeous looking Lacey satellite fascinator. If you did gain value from this video, please do give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, sweetheart, what are you waiting for? You need to be getting my videos, don't you think so? Okay, click the subscribe button. It's alright. Click it. And then the bell so you get notified whenever I upload new videos. Don't forget, if you don't know how to make the loops, to check out this next video.